Hello, guys, and this video is about Black Lives Matter. So, obviously, um, we are aware of the demonstrations that have been going on and the Black Lives Matter cause. And of course, I've been seeing the narrative that is happening where people of other races are feeling like the agenda should be all lives matter and not Black Lives Matter. And when we say Black Lives Matter, it's almost like we're trying to exalt the Black race above every other race and ignore the validity or the existence of every other race. So I figure I should make this video for clarity. Um, Black Lives Matter, the whole focus of it is the metaphor I can use to explain Black Lives Matter. It's almost like somebody having cancer and the person crying out for a cure for the cancer, and then somebody with um, some other sickness, tuberculosis or something else, now chastises the person and says, no, rather than cry out for a cure for cancer, the person should cry out for a cure for all diseases. Just because the person is crying out for a cure for cancer does not mean the person is negating the the cure for tuberculosis or the cure for any other sickness out there. No, the person is just crying out for a cure for cancer, especially when it seems there is no focus or no attention for finding a cure for cancer, but attention is focused on finding a cure for every other diseases. Would you say the person is invalid for crying out for a cure for cancer? And that is what Black Lives Matter is all about. We're not saying that, oh, other races don't matter or other lives don't matter, but the issues facing the Black community has been going on, and it just seems like nobody is paying attention to it. It keeps happening over and over and over, and nobody paying attention. So we have to rise up to fight for ourselves. And in doing that, we're not saying other races don't matter. We're just saying, no, we're finding our voice and crying out for ourselves. And the second thing that happens is people are saying, oh, there's black on black crime. And so because black on black crime exists, why are we not crying about black on black crime and we're crying about racism? So again, the context of racism is the majority having the power and the majority enforcing that power to validate bigotry and bias and making it part of the system, and normalizing it. Black on black crime is not being normalized. It is not in power. It is not involved in the system. So you cannot equate the two. Black on black crime is an individual that's dysfunctional carrying out some dysfunction against whoever. The system is not validating it. The system is not supporting it. Racism, on the other hand, it's when the system subtly is empowering it, it's validating it, it's enforcing it. And that's what we're crying against. That's what we are saying, no, it cannot happen because that's injustice, that's inequity. And then the third thing that people are bringing up is George Floyd. Oh, he was a flawed human being, and so why are we celebrating him? Again, every one of us is flawed. Even the most righteous person has a past, has a questionable past. So bringing up the flaws and imperfections of a person does not negate that the person does have basic human rights. And it was the world saw the killing of George Floyd, the murder of George Floyd. They saw it, and the system tried to normalize it, that it was okay to murder this black man. No arrests were made, everything was normal. And that was what we rebelled against, that no, this cannot, because this has been systematic. Brianna, it happened to Brianna, nobody said anything. Ahmed, it happened to him, nobody said anything. Actually, his murderers were running free for 3 months, approximately 3 months or 2.5 months. Like it was okay, sharing the videos. And that is what we are standing against. That's what Black Lives Matter is against. Like, no, this cannot be. Yes, before the civil rights movement, it was perfectly normal for black bodies to be hanging on trees. It was perfectly normal for outright murderings to be happening, lynchings to be happening. And now that it's not legal, it is still being enforced. That mindset is still operating in the system. That mindset is still pervasive, and that is what we are standing against. So trying to bring up George Floyd's imperfection, that he was not, he had so many issues. And your point is, he had so many issues. So what exactly is the point? So he should be murdered on the roadside? He should be murdered? Oh, he had drugs in his system. And again, what is the point? That he should be murdered on the roadside? And so what about me? If I'm walking on this roadside, I should be murdered? I have a checkered past. So what is the point? Bringing that up is irrelevant. And nobody's saying that he is the second coming of Jesus. No. But he symbolizes the way that the aligning of the times just happened to coincide, and his death triggered a revolution. And so, yes, we recognize him and we recognize his life for triggering this revolution. This has been something that has been seething, and now it has erupted, and we're saying no more. No more permitting of injustice and bigotry to flourish in the community. No, time is up. Time is